The more you repeat it, the better it is for everyone. The more you... So look, David, start it again. So forget about this. Now, how to start this? Now, the advantage of working from the cast is huge because it's a 3D image in front of you. And that's how to translate that now into a 2D surface. And that is fantastically helpful when you work on a real life model, on a model. There you are, I've done your portrait there. Right there, David, there.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
At least I'm smiling.
Yeah. Do you remember that we were in the?
Oh yeah, I do.
We're outside, so I said, well, actually, I was thinking, I had free time. I said, I'll do a portrait just to get the movement. So it's still not you. It's a lot of work, but it's a good sketch.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Now, again, David, a line here, which is a line which gets from his neck down here the spine, and then head, roundness of the head, which is at top there, chin, jaw,
Mullet.
The mullet, that's called mullet.
No, the hair, the curly
Oh,
hair.
the curly
It's
hair.
actually not a mullet.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
haircut.
At least he's got some.
He's got lots, yes. Then another line here for his, obviously, sideburn. Sorry, sideburn. Then you have another line here which is, again, forehead, hair, and front of his face, chin. Now I'm going a bit quicker here now. Then the body, the torso, which is that line is pretty much at the same angle as the jaw. So something like that, approximately that. Then you have the hair, arm, which is cut here in the middle. Then you have the torso and that part of the torso. And then this line or that area, it's all in a very mild, soft shadow. Something approximating that. And his upper arm, which is quite close to the neck. Then you have the neck itself, which is very, very, very much at the same line at the chin. And you have the arm moving up. Then a very mild, but there is a cast shadow of the head on his shoulder, which is this one, and the shoulder there itself, and his breast area, and again milder breast area. So pretty much that's, now this is the generic approach, or geometric generic, and kind of almost abstract approach. But it's valid because this is what we need to get. It's at the same angle as the eye, as the ear is. You have the horizontal line, you have the eyebrows. Horizontal line, you have the eyebrow here. Then you have the eyebrow, which is, look, I'm talking about that line here. See, there's not a horizontal line, it moves down there. Then you have the movement of the eye. Look at this movement. It's like a belly. It's like an underbelly here, there. And the eyebrow. This eyebrow stands higher than that, so it appears to be there. And obviously exceeding that line, which is, it was an approximate line, because you see I worked with that line, which is the side of his face, but then the nose exceeds that line slightly, so it's there. And don't forget, don't get confused, because it looks horizontal, but actually there's an angle of the nose. So there's an angle approximately that angle there. And the chin is smaller, so bring up the chin. Then that appears to be horizontal. Horizontal line. And that is an angle, which is there. That's a horizontal line. Now I know it looks like a totally different person on me here, but we'll get there. Now this angle, which is a side of the face, side plane, there is a dark shadow which goes, I'm talking about this one here, all that area. There. All that area. And the ear which stands above or in between the eyebrows. So above this eyebrow, in between the other one, you've got the ear there, and the head itself. And also darker background shadow there. And darker curls here as we are. I'm going too dark now on purpose, just to make a point that here, this side, it's a dark plain side, darker side. And also working on the background, emphasizing that forehead and the hair up here, and darker background there. And I'm going very, very dark here and very quickly, very dark, very quickly, because I don't want to spend too much time here. It's just basically how to start it, how to decipher it, how to make it easier for us to understand. Now, as I moved here, you see that the chin actually, he's got a normal chin. It's not. There are some people who have the chin further back, and it appears to be on me here to have that issue, or it's not an issue, just to be like that, but it's not. His chin is normal, it's moving forward, so I'm moving that forward. For nose there, moving the nose there, giving it a straight line, and moving the eyebrow and the forehead at the front there, and softening those shadows, because don't forget it's a white marble. Even though we have those shadows, they are very, very soft. And you have the front chin, I mean the top, the front of the chin, ear, and the curls here. Just a bit of curls. So basically, this is the approximate, or not approximate, but that's one of the approaches. There are many ways to approach this. It's basically to go a lot softer, or to work with lines. With basically another line, one line here, another side line there, and then you can lift it or close or contain it at the top. There are many ways to start it, but this is one of the ways. And softer merge of the shadows. And also here, look here, you got that muscle, which I should have known that muscle, that part of the muscle here, but yeah, probably you know it. But yeah, that's not the bicep, no, not the bicep, obviously, but yeah, so a bit of highlight on that here, and then a softer change and merge of this here. And then you can play and you can give it a softer, going dark, but then doing this look to create his torso, to create his front chest here, dark here as well, and soft on that. There. Huh? See, so that's the most, as I said, the most effective approach in my view. But as I said, there are many ways to go about it. And now getting rid of those construction lines and bring the forehead a bit further up, because the forehead is quite well, it's quite prominent here, but the curls are very, very close to the eyebrows, and keep an eye. And the nose is critical here, because I've done a very strange nose on me. And it's smaller, it's not as huge as that, so it's there. And whilst I'm trimming the nose, I should trim his lip. Everything follows. And the lower lip, which is a horizontal line, as we said, there, and the chin itself. Make it a bit more prominent. And the nose, push back this to make it a little bit more of that sort. There. Now again, it's not perfect, and it's not, the likeness is still not there, but at least we've got the movement, the tilt. Okay, I can see Alan saying, okay, can I start it now? And they say, I want to work on it. Okay, I'll leave it now, because obviously, as I said, that's the start, and that obviously there's so many issues with that, is in, the likeness. But when you get to that stage, obviously I'll talk to each and every one of you to get closer to what we see there. But approximately, it's pretty much what we should do, at least when you start it. Darker here, and then obviously these darks are very, very black, so I'll just soften them and maybe even move them to the torso, and you can come and do, instead of work with black, look what you can do. You can work with a putty rubber. It's as effective as lines. Actually, it's better because it's quite soft. Or you can emphasize it later on with this, with a line, but you can start with putty rubber. And there. Okay, it's quite fresh. That was a painting, basically these are the first brush strokes, and then you work with more details, more eyes, and then build up and bring up the volume. But yeah, in drawing the same issue. Now the eye, obviously the eye, you work on the upper eyelid, but yeah, there, just a touch, and that brings the eyelid. Again, sometimes less is more. The less you add, the less you introduce, the more the people understand. We understand it. The brain of the viewer completes the form and the action. Okay, do you want to work it now?
Yes.
Right? Okay, well, all right. Let's work on this one a little bit more. In the highlight on the ear, which is there. And that's the highlight that I can see here, and that goes straight onto a horizontal line, further up. Then you have the eyebrow, there. The nose, there's definitely the nose, which is something wrong with the nose, and then obviously we know it needs to go a bit further out. First of all, you've got the nostril, got nose up here, and a little bit of cheek on this side, right side. There you go, the chin here, and you've got the hand, which is above the shoulder, and darkening a little bit more here, just to create a shadow on his cheek, on the side of his side plane. Then you have that, particularly, sorry, because it's a lot of noise come from my neighbors here. Then you have that shadow here. Take some dust and create that under the eye. You have that line here. There. And it brings up to forehead. The eyebrow. Hair. Different curls. Background, a little bit of neck here, wider, neck is further up, actually the shoulder, not the neck. The neck is here, the shoulder is. And as I said earlier on, that shadow, cast shadow off the head onto your shoulder. A bit further to the right. And his chest, that goes up and up here, which just brings his shoulder up, arm, shoulder, and that is at the level or at the same horizontal level as his nose. So that upward shoulder line there, it's right up there. Even more powerful than that. Break that line, which was the construction. You remember that construction line? Bring it back there. Highlight on his chest. His bust. And again, I haven't actually sorted out the issue here with my lip. It's a bit further out. Bring it back a bit more. If you see how small that is, the distance, just the distance from vertical line from the eye right to the lip, and that is much shorter there. So I need to bring the lip to contain it a bit more. Highlight on the side here. Chin there. Working on the chin a bit more rounded. Bit more rounded on the nose itself as well. There. Highlight on the upper eyelid. Side plane. Upper ear, earlobe. Highlight a reflected light under the chin. There you are. And a little bit more insisting on the width of his head, which I find it a little bit narrow, so I can work on that side and just expand a little bit the head from that angle. Eyebrow, and coming round here. Chin, making the chin a bit more reflected light underneath. What I'm actually doing here is I'm ignoring that line there. So I'm breaking that line down. And I'm trying to create kind of, not abstract version of it, but something new. So I'm trying to, again, it's predictable to do a line there. It will be predictable. But I can still give it a indication where the line is, but not following as such and bringing it. First of all, there's a hand here. If you notice, there's a little hand which is up on the shoulder of his left shoulder of Hermes. It's a child's hand. It's very, very, very tiny hand. There you are. So I'm as I said, I'm making the shadows softer, quite transparent, softer here, a little bit softer than that, yes, keeping those lines, but just to suggest the wide plane of his chest. And trying to get that softness of his, again, of his chest here. There we are. All right. And maybe emphasize that beautiful soft turn of his upper arm. There we are. Okay. And bit of shadow, take some dust from my charcoal grinding, where I grind the charcoal, take that dust and move it right in between his upper lip and the chin. And emphasize the side of his cheek. Nostril here, working on nostril. Upper lip there. Bit of a turn. Or there, working on the eyebrow. Emphasizing those two curls coming here. Take some dust from my, again, from my bank of dust, and moving it here. Actually, what you would expect is to make, well, I normally darken that, so how about, just for a change, I darken the hair here. It can work as good as darken the background to make it. So by darkening here, all those curls that I'm darkening here, I'm obviously emphasizing the curls, but also bringing forward the head. So instead of darkening the background, which was to be expected, or at least I'm giving a touch of soft middle tone, I'm working on the hair itself. It's another way of doing it. I want to be overly detailed here. There's no need to go too detailed, but just to emphasize. There. And again, working on my charcoal dust, with my charcoal dust, working here on my left hand side of the portrait of the sculpting of Hermes, and basically softening the nose here. That's what I should have done at the beginning. Just soften the nose, soften, then turn here. And stopping it now with a lighter line, a wider nostril, and some more highlights there. Yeah. And just giving it an end to it, or just coming around and do that little turn here, as I've done it with this side. As I've done the same with on the lips, I can do this little turn, reflected light under his nose. And the cast shadow of the nose on the upper lip and his chin. Sorry, cheek. Sorry. There, his chin. Just working on the chin there. Again, cheek. Oh, got a confusion of chin and cheek. There. And that's the reflected light that I see here. And running out of clean fingers, as I've said earlier on, maybe just a highlight here on the neck, cast shadow of the neck, cast shadow of the head on the neck, lighter there. Hair, I can give a little bit more highlights on the hair here, the different parts of the chamois. Brought those lines again, but I can come back and reinstate those darks. And the prediction of dark in the background, as expected, right here. Give it a scale of dark, increase the darks here. Instead of increasing the darks on the background on that side, on the left hand side of the face, I'll work it inside the hair. So emphasize the curls, but on this trait, this form. Emphasizing the curls and then breaking them up now. There, breaking it up here. There, just breaking those dark highlights that I've done. There. Okay, and the ear lobe. First of all, I've cast shadow here. Cast shadow. And a little bit of a darker neck there. Okay, I think I'm done with this. I don't think there is anything to be added. Obviously more detail. It will take a lot longer time to add, and I don't think will make a substantial difference. Most of it is here, most of it is okay. Obviously, to get it better, there's always better to improve it, but for a quick study, that's not bad. That's the bust. Obviously, you need to add a little bit of plinth, but again, right, just a suggestion will do. Okay, I'm going deliberately dark here, more than anything, just to frame it, just to frame the whole thing here. Yeah. And the arm itself, which is rounded, and gets there. Okay. All right. Hasta la próxima. Okay, what's the date today? lighten it up here, lighten it up here. And possibly, yeah, before I go, just make sure that eyelid is a little bit further up. Okay. And yes, the earlobe, just suggested darker than that. What's the date today? 4th of the 10th. 4th of the 10th. Right, I'll see you on the next one then. Oh, let me do one more attempt. How about, yes, I want to finish it. I definitely want to finish it. I'm thinking, how about if I first of all emphasize a little bit of the nipple here, as is expected to be here, a little bit of nipple there. How about I spray this and give it a nice tonal value then with my dust, charcoal dust. Soft on the background. Break that line, it's not needed. It's good to have a little bit, but not a lot. And it gives you more of a contemporary look. There. Alright, let's spray that and see with some marble dust. Some dust, marble dust is the whole sculpting, but actually what I meant is to take that off because I don't want spray on the image on the tablet. Alright. Leave it to dry for a while. Alright, little experiment here. Take some dust and then again to incorporate some new brush strokes or kind of a painterly look onto the drawing. Why not? Who's going to tell us don't do it? Oh, the paper's not taking it. Not really. Trying to make it again to have a different feel to it, different look, but the paper is not accepting more dust onto it. I think it's saturated. Appears to be, yes. Some more dust. Dust here, doesn't have to be too bright, that one. That side. And then give it kind of a straight vertical lines and horizontal lines, but straight, without changing, without not moving it that way, not turning it or curly or twisting it, just vertical lines. Anyhow, it's not taking a lot more, so I'll leave it to that. I don't think it's needed, but it was just a try really. And then re-emphasizing some lights. Break that here, break it there if you wish. So if you change your mind, or to emphasize a little bit more the lights, highlights, going back and forth and do this. Keep that area the lightest because obviously that's where the light shines through. And try to get some more highlight with a putty rubber here, right there. Keep that light coming to the nose, a little bit lighter here on the cheek, and up on the mouth, the upper part of the mouth, and a tiny bit on chin here, right at the chin here. There you are. Ok, well, hasta la próxima.